You see the image everywhere. A survivor wrapped in thousands of dollars of the latest gear, shivering uncontrollably. They did everything they were told. They bought the best. So why are they freezing? Because they were taught the wrong lesson. They were taught to fight the cold. But cold doesn't exist, it's a fiction, it is simply the absence of heat. Your body is a furnace constantly burning calories to produce heat, measured in joules. The entire game of winter survival isn't about buying gear to fight a phantom. It's about managing a single brutal fact of physics, thermodynamics. It's about understanding the three invisible ways the universe is trying to steal every last joule of heat from your body. The first thief is conduction. Think of it as a vampire. It needs to touch you to drain you. Imagine you're forced to sleep on a concrete floor. That floor is a heat sink. It has a practically infinite mass compared to you, and it will relentlessly suck the warmth out of your body at every point of contact. You can feel the life draining away. Red arrows of heat flowing from you into the gray, lifeless floor. You cannot warm the floor. You will lose that fight. The only way to win is to not play. You must create a thermal break. It can be a $20 foam pad, a pile of dry leaves, even a flattened cardboard box. Anything that gets your body off the ground severs that connection. It breaks the vampire's bridge. The second thief is convection. It's more subtle. It uses the air against you. You're in a large, unheated house. You think if you can just heat one room, you'll be fine. But the room never warms up. That's because the air is in constant motion. The small pocket of warm air you create rises to the ceiling, cools and falls, while cold air is sucked in through every tiny crack around the windows and doors. This is the stack effect. This constantly moving air is a thief that strips away the warm, insulating boundary layer of air right next to your skin. Heating a large room is like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in it. The fix is elegantly simple. The Russian doll method. You put a small tent inside the room. Now, instead of trying to heat 1,000 cubic feet of air, you only have to heat 60. You've created a smaller, controllable environment inside the larger hostile one. The final thief is a ghost. Radiation. You can't see it. You can't feel it. But right now, your body is broadcasting heat in all directions as invisible infrared wave. But while you are fighting to keep heat in, your house is fighting a different battle. The physics of expansion. Imagine the water molecules inside your pipes. When most liquids freeze, their molecules pack tighter together. But water is an anomaly. As it cools to 0°C, its molecules arrange themselves into a rigid open lattice crystal structure. They don't get closer. They push apart, expanding by about 9% with incredible, unstoppable force. This phase change acts like a slow-motion bomb inside your walls. Your insulation, that thick blanket you wrapped your pipes in, it can't stop this. It can only slow down the rate of cooling. It delays the inevitable. Once the water inside reaches freezing, the expansion will begin, and no amount of fiberglass will contain the pressure building inside that copper or steel pipe. The result is a catastrophic burst. Not always where the ice is, but where the pressure has nowhere else to go. The only real fix isn't to fight the temperature. It's to remove the fuel. You have to drain the system, get the water out. No working fluid, no expansion, no bomb. Now let's talk about the air you're trying to heat. Many people turn to a propane heater in a power outage, sealing the room tight to trap every degree of warmth. This creates another deadly physics problem, the ventilation equation. The ideal chemical reaction for burning propane is straightforward. Propane C3H8 plus oxygen O2 gives you harmless carbon dioxide and water. But notice the key ingredient, oxygen. Your heater is consuming the very air you need to breathe. As the oxygen level in that sealed room drops, the combustion chemistry changes. The fire is starved and it begins to produce a different lethal byproduct. Carbon monoxide, CO, an odorless, colorless poison. You can't just guess. You must calculate the required airflow based on your heater's BTU rating and the volume of your space. Sealing a room for warmth is a trade-off against breathable, safe air. Make the wrong calculation, and you've traded the cold for something far worse. So you have ventilation, but the room still gets cold the second the heater is off. That's because you're trying to heat the wrong thing. You're heating the air, and air has a terrible specific heat capacity, meaning it holds almost no energy. Think of air molecules spread far apart, zipping around. They can't store heat. Now, picture a dense stone brick or a cast iron pan or even a simple jug of water. These objects possess high thermal mass. Their molecules are packed tightly together, ready to absorb and hold on to thermal energy for hours. The strategy isn't just to heat the room, it's to create a thermal battery. You run your heat source to warm up these high-mass objects. Then, when the fuel is off, they radiate that stored heat back into the room slowly and steadily, keeping the temperature stable long after the fire is out. So, it all comes down to a simple formula. The real equation for winter survival. Insulation to slow heat loss, plus thermal mass to store energy, minus the airflow you absolutely must have for safe combustion. That is what equals survival. Remember, survival isn't luck, it is physics. Respect the laws of thermodynamics or they will break you. Which law of physics have you been ignoring? Tell me in the comments.